Good morning, good evening, and happy Sunday. Alright. Robert Plant's Big Log. On a Sunday. It's Sunday evening. Yes, I know. Whenever I have those late night gigs, which for some reason I didn't think it was going to be late, but it ended up being 3 in the morning for me, anyways, getting home. Uh, I have to do it Sunday night, and I had lots going on Sunday during the day. I didn't really sleep in. I just had lots going on. Happy 77th birthday week to Mr. Robert Plant. Yeah, 77. Wow. And he's going out on tour. Going back out on tour. Doing it very casually. I think. Don't know what he's doing. Always does something different. He's always a pretty eclectic guy. Tries to help out. Tries to appease some of the Zeppelin fans that want the reunion, which probably is not going to happen, guys. Come on, they're getting up there in age, but look. Let's reflect for a second. Led Zeppelin was from roughly 1969 to 1980. John Bonham died, so yeah, just what is that? Just over 10 years, or just about, yeah, there, so around there, 11 years probably, and that's it. That's their moment in time where they made all this incredible music and basically moved on. And since 1980, we really haven't heard a ton of stuff from everybody. I mean, Jimmy Page has done The Firm. He's on his movie soundtracks and Death Wish, and probably a ton of producing. John Paul Jones has probably done a ton of orchestral stuff. Robert Plant's had a fairly, really successful solo career. This song, Big Log, being one of the more successful songs. And just, only guitar players will find this interesting, and maybe even understand what I'm talking about is, so Robert Plant goes from a guy who plays one of those, and who's a rock god and, heavy, heavy, heavy rock, to Robbie Blunt, his guitar player for Pictures at 11 and a couple albums after that, and played one of these. Was a Strat guy. Very clean, Pretty clean stuff, right? Pretty clean stuff. And so was that a conscious thing, or he just was writing songs that were just lent more to this kind of stuff? Who knows? I just remember when Pictures in 11 came out, very clearly. It was different. It was different. It wasn't the ground dweedy grindy power chord Led Zeppelin, or even the Led Zeppelin who was kind of light too. It was acoustic kind of Led Zeppelin. It wasn't that either. It was, I remember one of the songs on Pictures 11 had a sax solo in it. I remember hearing that song on the Toronto radio, and the song ended, and their DJ said, hey, there's the singer from Led Zeppelin. Did you ever hear think he'd be in a song that had a sax solo in it? And and I thought to think about that. I said, no, but the guy's moving on, right? The guy's moving on and doing his own thing. Done a lot of different things over the years, Robert Plant, and well, I like a lot of I think I love all of his solo albums. I really haven't paid much attention since past. Here we go with research again. I don't even know the names of the albums, but it was the album where he's can't even remember names of songs. Um, Tall, Thin, Tall, Cool One. Tall, Cool One. Is that the song? where he does the the custard pie thing at the end. And I don't know. Anyways, that was the song. That was the album. Can't remember the name of the album. It was one of his biggest albums. It was like his probably biggest selling album. He had a bunch of young guys out on tour with him because I guess he wanted to do that. Yeah, great. That was some great. He had some great bands out there on the road. He had some great bands. Robbie Blunt only stayed with him for a little while. I'm not sure what Robbie Blunt's doing now, but Robbie Blunt was a real statement, a really incredible guitar player, and a real huge statement. It was really cool to hear him play. But Robert Plant, hey, I saw a great interview with him on Australian 60 Minutes, the equivalent of 60 Minutes in Australia, and great interview. But he also said, everyone talks about reunion. The question was asked. Everyone's talking about the Zeppelin reunion and everything like that. And he said, "Well, hey, I'm here. I'm ready to go. You see me. Good luck finding those other guys." And it was kind of true, right? We don't really see a ton of interviews with Jimmy Page or John Paul Jones, and I guess he was ready to do anything he wanted to do. I really doubt very much they'll be doing another Led Zeppelin reunion type thing after the O2, concerts. He probably doesn't want to try singing something in the higher range, but if you were 77, I don't think you would either. But just let's savor that Zeppelin stuff, people. Let's savor it and savor some of the Robert Plant solo stuff. All great, phenomenal music. What can you say about Led Zeppelin? Led Zeppelin is a huge influence on me. I often say that I went to Led Zeppelin High, my school, Gordon Graydon Memorial Secondary here in well, not here, but in Mississauga. I mentioned this before. Paintings of Zeppelin on the walls. You go upstairs to the art wing, and there's the Dove, a big painting on the wall. I'm sure all these paintings are long gone, but probably the building's still there. I think it's a different type of school now, but we all loved Zeppelin. Zeppelin, and then when my kids got into Beatles, they full gamut of Beatles, and they still listen to tons of Beatles. We're in the car with them today, and they put their phones on in my car, and a ton of McCartney and Beatles came on. It's just huge for both my kids. And then I think my kids, or Jacob, my son, thought that I was into the Beatles just as much as he was. And then at one point in the time in his life, he knew more than most adults knew about Beatles. Both Kaylee and Jacob, my kids. And at one point in his life, he said, Zeppelin was really your Beatles, right? And I said, yeah, you're right. yeah. But still respect the Beatles. But Zeppelin was my classic rock band growing up. Other than Aerosmith too. Aerosmith was a huge influence. I think it's because that early Black Sabbath, AC/DC, and Teenage Head from Toronto or from Hamilton. The reason why those were big is because the guitar parts were fairly, the riffs were. Let's go with the riffs. The solos and Jimmy Page's solos. I couldn't just pick up my guitar when I was playing for a year and play those. But you could play some of the Teenage Head stuff. I learned all that stuff. Gordy Lewis, rest in peace. Amazing guitar player for that genre. A lot of the Zeppelin riffs are easy to get under your fingers. Tony Iommi. Still, easy stuff to get into. I still teach students early Black Sabbath stuff only because it's just easy to play something cool with a little amount of effort. And all those bands hugely influenced you on me on my lead guitar playing, and probably yours too, if you grew up in my era. the Stone Age, where we used our ears instead of our eyes and our clicking of a mouse or on your phone trying to find things to learn on guitar. It was a lot. I think it was a lot simpler when we just put the record on and we kind of lifted it with our ears, and we developed our ears. That's one thing that's not happening these days, is young musicians are not developing their ears as much. There, I said it. So I'm sticking to that one. Anyhow, special thanks to Keep the Faith is rocking through the summer. Hope you're having a great August. August is not over. I made a statement on stage last night at the CNE saying, forget about your pumpkin spice, please, people. The summer is still going strong until September. Please enjoy the good weather where it's at. We got poured on rain last night. Well, no, I didn't. My side of the stage was pretty dry. But people in front of me were pretty wet. And special thanks to the CNE crew, Dave, and everybody who helped us out on the stage. Sorry we were late. We had some technical difficulties. We're supposed to start at 8. We're still doing sound check at 8. Terrible. But it was cool. Got through the night. Big 3-hour set. If you're a Bon Jovi fan, you were there. You heard every song. 3 hours of material. We will be in Ajax, Ontario on Tuesday night, playing Music in the Streets in Ajax. Don't know the exact address, but look it up on our Keep the Faith site. And the big one to close out the summer, August 30th, this weekend coming, in Ottawa at the Hard Rock Cafe Casino. That's going to be a blast. Our last outdoor show is Ajax, though, for the summer, unless we get a last-minute deal. Anyways, Bridge on Fire is still on hiatus. We'll be into rehearsals soon for our September gigs. And just big shout out to my son, who's in the Harriets, his band. He played Lee's Palace same night I was playing at the CNE. I wish I could have went to his gig. He wishes he could have came to my gig, but we're both playing. So Jacob was at Lee's Palace in a showcase, and his singer, the singer of the Harriets, it's a band. So I mean, I can't say Oscar was his singer. That's what I meant. But Oscar, the lead singer for the Harriets, was deathly ill, could not make the gig. They went 3-piece, and Jacob sang the whole night. So good on my son, who just kind of got up there, and who's a great singer. And he sang the whole night as a 3-piece lead guitar and singing. Congratulations, Jacob. That is quite a feat. I don't know too many people. I couldn't do it. Anyways, guys, happy August. It's still summer. Labor Day weekend is next weekend. Sorry, kids, you're going back to school. You have to do it. See ya. Bye.